local thieves and political scavengers may try all they can with their corrupt political sponsors to divide IPOB, but they are wasting their time, money, and effort. And they know this. Before I proceed any further this evening, we must salute the courage and sacrifice of Shia protesters in Abuja and beyond, and every supporter of Sheikh el-Zakzaki, who, despite the slaughter of their members, are still courageously demanding for the release of their leader in true IPOB style. We salute their courage. Some of you may not know that a lot of Shia protesters were shot to death in Zaria in 2015. I was in detention then, but I still got the news that they killed over 1,000 people in Zaria. The offense of those that were summarily executed by a very horrible terrorist army, so to speak, because the Nigerian army is they're all a bunch of terrorists. All of them, from top to bottom. The reason why they were massacred in cold blood is because they blocked the road and demanded that Toko Buratai, who is the chief of army staff, should come down from his vehicle to address them. They were killed. There is something I want to tell you this evening. Only yesterday, protesters blocked the motorcade of President Donald Trump, the most powerful man in the whole world. And he simply turned back to use another road. But an illiterate savage like Buratai murdered over 1,000 people because they blocked his way. The saddest part of this whole debacle is that some sections of the media and some, I would say, frivolous commentators supported the killing of Shia protesters, and we're asking, why should they block the road? When I say that a black man in Africa is evil and that is why God is punishing Africa, some of you won't understand, but that is the truth. The heart of a black man is evil. That is why Africa is so backwards. We are very, very weak. We complain about racism when we travel abroad. We talk about how other people treat us. How we are being maltreated in the USA, in Europe, everywhere we go to. But look at how you treat yourselves. Look at the wickedness contained in only one administration, the late Buhari's administration. How they kill people. And ridiculously try to justify it by saying that that is what Donald Trump would have wanted them to do. To kill people who are protesting in a democracy. The persistence of Shia protesters will eventually pay off. The British-backed despotic government of Nigeria, ceremoniously, I should say, headed by Jubril, a Sudanese man, have been going around killing innocent people in cold blood, like an army of darkness. The funniest thing is that instead of Abuja residents to rise up and show solidarity with the protesters, they chose to play the role of traffic guide by telling people the areas to avoid. Impunity is being committed. You know, John, man, instead of people to rise up and say that this is evil, it's not good. All they can do is, oh, please avoid the Nyanya. Don't go through whatever. What are the names of those places they have in that decrepit place? Instead of it to say that what Fulani soldiers are doing is wrong against Shia protesters, all you can do is to say, oh, please avoid this or that area within Abuja for you to be safe. There is no collective consciousness. I always say this to people all the time. IPOB has collective consciousness. If you want to know a town or area that has collective consciousness, you look at Aba, for example. If something happens in Aba people can analyze that very situation and determine if it is good for them or bad for them. If it is bad, everybody will condemn it, regardless of who is affected. If it is good, they will all embrace it. But you have people living in Abuja because Nigeria is not one and can never be one. When it is your people killing other people, you keep quiet. The concentration of the media in Nigeria in the hands of Yoruba people in Lagos, so to speak. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but they should rise up and do what Delegiwa did, to report the truth, regardless of the consequences. What is happening in Nigeria is an affront to humanity. It is a disgrace that anybody should rise up and pretend to even be a Nigerian with the level of evil and horror going on every day. It is unacceptable. No moral outrage, there is no righteous indignation. People carry on as if nothing is happening, and every moment people are being slaughtered. You see soldiers running around the streets, slaughtering people in car parks. People keep quiet as if nothing is happening. That is why God in heaven hates Africa, because Africans are wicked by nature. That is why you have no light, no good roads, no good schools. When you graduate, you cannot find a job, because within you, you are wicked. The suffering of other people doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you. You can accuse Europeans of anything, or of everything. You can accuse Americans all you like. But there is something they cannot tolerate. If not for the intervention of the Western world, some of us wouldn't have known about the Rwandan genocide. Look at our genocide. The second after the Jewish Holocaust. Our family, the Jews of Europe, they lost 6 million people. We Biafrans lost 5 million people. Nobody remembers us. Because the heart of a black man is evil. That is why Africa can never, ever be developed until Biafra comes. That is what Nnamdi Kanu said this evening. Africa, I'm making it very clear. Look at South Africa is falling backwards once again. It's in the hands of black people. They are going backwards. And for the few successes we have recorded in places like Botswana and Rwanda, when the people in charge now leaves and goes, you will see what the next idiot will do to those economies. South Africa is going south, isn't it? The economy is being run down as usual because we are in charge. There is something wrong with us. And that thing is that we don't have empathy, the ability to help those who cannot help themselves. That is what makes you an uprightly moral person. That is something we must know, recognize, acknowledge, and prepare to do something about it. That is why Biafra will be different. This episodic slaughter of innocent people in the zoo called Nigeria, and the criminal silence of the population makes me wonder if the people we are dying for every day are actually worth it. Some of them think Nnamdi Kanu is pursuing Biafra is a parochial interest. He wants only Biafra to survive and not the rest. I am not stopping you from joining us. I want us to be free. I want to set my people free from the damnable zoological republic. Nigeria is unsalvageable. You cannot save it. There is no Jupiter that can save the zoo from collapsing. It's impossible. The only thing holding us together is oil and gas. Sometimes I pray to Chukwuka Biama. Let there be no oil and let there be no gas so these vultures can leave us alone. They should leave us alone. The envy, the hatred, and the jealousy is too much. I say to my Israeli friends here, you say you go through hate. The other day, some people were slaughtered in a synagogue in Pennsylvania, the Tree of Life synagogue. May their soul rest in perfect peace. They were killed for no other reason than they are Jewish. That's all. Their crime is that they were born Jewish and praying. That's all. The same hatred we encounter. If you say you are an Igbo man, people will hate you. Because of that, even our own blood brothers, Efiki, Bibio, Ishekiri, Isok, everywhere, everybody, even his own Ijo. Some of them say, oh, I don't believe in Biafra. because they don't want to be the recipient of the transferred hatred and aggression against Igbo people. People just hate us for no reason. You think you're smiling with them in Lagos, in Kanu, in Kaduna? One day they will call you and tell you you don't belong here. The hatred comes just like that, for no simple reason than that Chukwokika Biama loves us. That's all. Only Biafra can do what others cannot do in Africa. And they know it. Our detractors, they know it. Those that wish to hold us down, they know it. But all the same, I must thank the United States government for stepping up to demand a probe into the killings, and for the Sunni extremists within the Nigerian army to be held responsible for the carnage they brought upon members of the Shia sect in Abuja. As some of you know, I tweeted very privately in the United States government to take action, and now they have. I am pleading with President Donald Trump this evening and all those responsible for Africa within the State Department to maintain this very pressure until a thorough investigation is conducted and those responsible held accountable. The only crime of the Shia people is to demand for the release of their leader. If anyone anywhere is looking for confirmation that Nigeria is a satanic entity, even worse than a zoo, observe how your average Nigerian appears unconcerned. I've been reading the newspapers. Vanguard, Punch, all of them, Sun, all of them, name them. Guardian. None of them have been able to write an editorial condemning what happened. Washington Post and every Western media wrote an editorial condemning the death of Khashoggi. All of them, everybody, from BBC, IT, everybody did. Even papers here in Israel. Jerusalem Post did. But in Nigeria, you have journalists that sit idly by and watch innocent people slaughtered and massacred.